Greetings, kindred friend. Let us take a quiet moment right now. Imagine darkness enveloping the room, the ticking of the clock in the corner becoming clearer than ever. The clock hand has just nudged past the number 3. You lie there, eyes wide open looking at the ceiling, while the whole world seems to be fast asleep. A feeling of loneliness creeps in, dragging along armies of anxiety about health, about aching joints, or about an uncertain future that keep repeating in your mind. You sigh and ask yourself, why is my body betraying me like this? But dear friend, let me gift you a liberating truth right this moment. Waking up at 3 a.m. is not a biological mistake, nor is it a tragedy of old age. What if this moment of wakefulness is actually a sacred threshold? A sign that your soul is gradually becoming pure, and your wisdom is ready to touch new depths of awakening. In the wisdom of the Buddha, every change in the physical body is a wordless lecture on impermanence. Tonight, instead of panicking, I invite you to explore together how to use the Buddhist lens to turn 3 a.m. from a prison of anxiety into a sanctuary of serenity. We will learn together why the body wakes you up and the tools for you not only to accept, but to truly enjoy the new rhythm of life. Let your mind rest, because your journey of rebirth actually only just begins here. The decline of melatonin and the wisdom of equanimity. Dear friend, there is a very forgiving biological reality that few people mention. As we get older, the pineal gland inside the brain begins to produce less melatonin, the hormone known as the signal of the night. This is not a disease. It is a natural transformation of the body. However, tragedy arises when our minds begin a war against this law. Look at the story of Harold, a 72-year-old man I once had the fate to accompany. Harold spent his whole life working on a precise schedule, and he considered not sleeping a full 8 hours as a failure of health. Every time he woke up at 3 a.m., Harold fell into a spiral of panic. He tried to force himself back to sleep. He worried about tomorrow's fatigue, and exactly that fierce resistance turned a normal biological change into profound suffering. In Buddhist wisdom, this is attachment to the past. We suffer because we want the physical body at age 70 to operate exactly like at age 20. We are trying to hold on to summer when autumn has knocked on the door. The Buddha taught about equanimity, meaning looking at all changes with non-judgmental eyes. When Harold learned to stop fighting, he began to adjust. He made his room darker, took gentle walks under the afternoon sun to support his biological rhythm, and most importantly, he smiled at the darkness. The liberating truth is this: pain does not come from your lack of melatonin, but comes from your lack of acceptance. Engrave this truth into your heart. Our bodies change like the seasons of the year, and we only need to learn how to change the clothing of our minds to adapt. Tonight, if you find yourself waking up mid-sleep, whisper, "Hello, autumn of the body." I accept this change with compassion. When you no longer cling to the perfect model of the old days, your nervous system will immediately be soothed. You do not need to fix nature. You only need to harmonize with it. Sleep in the relief of a soul that has stopped fighting with time. Changing sleep, cycles, and the wisdom of adaptation. There is a fact that science calls the advanced sleep phase. When we cross our 60s, the internal biological clock automatically runs a little faster. It urges us to feel sleepy earlier and wakes us up when the night dew has not yet melted. This is not insomnia, but a natural repositioning of the body to harmonize with the sunlight. However, many of us feel pressured by the golden hours of society, fearing that if we don't sleep until 7 a.m. like our children and grandchildren, it means our health has a problem. Listen to the story of Charles, a 68-year-old man who always prided himself on his iron discipline. Charles used to feel extremely lost and lonely when always waking up at 30:30 a.m., while the whole house was still sunk in silence. He used every means to force himself back to sleep, but the more he tried, the more tense his mind became. In Buddhist wisdom, there is a concept called suchness, meaning looking at reality exactly as it is. When Charles learned to accept instead of force, he realized 3 a.m. was not an enemy, but a sacred gift. He stopped fighting with the bed. Instead, he used the quietest time of heaven and earth to read precious books, take gentle walks when the early sun had just begun to bloom, and feel the breath of all things in the purest way. Dear friend, when you no longer use the yardstick of youth to impose on your life, you will see an unprecedented freedom. Understand this liberating truth. Peace does not come from forcing the body according to subjective will, but comes from respecting and cherishing its natural rhythm. Tonight, if your eyes open when darkness still covers, please smile. That is not a sign of decline, but an invitation from reality for you to live more deeply in the purest moments. Let your heart beat rhythmically to the melody of the universe, because in wise adaptation, you will find a new vital energy that resistance can never have. Physical discomfort and self-compassion. We often consider pain an enemy coming to ruin peace. However, in the view of compassion, pain is not a sentence, but a cry for help. Listen to the story of Mrs. Burries. Eleanor, a 76-year-old retired teacher. Eleanor used to live in frustration because of joint pain and having to wake up constantly every night. She considered it a barrier preventing her from reaching serenity. Instead of continuing to resent, Eleanor began to apply the wisdom of awakening. She took the time to carefully observe her habits, how she drank water in the evening, the side effects of her blood pressure pills, and even how she braced herself against the pain. Eleanor realized that every time she got angry with her body, her nervous system became more tense, making the pain worse and sleep harder to return. She decided to change. Eleanor began to treat her legs like treating a crying child exhausted from fatigue, with gentleness and understanding instead of internal scolding. The Buddha taught that, in this life, there are 2 arrows. The first arrow is physical pain, what the law of impermanence brings. The second arrow is exactly our psychological reaction, frustration, complaining, and resistance. We cannot avoid the first arrow, but can absolutely choose not to let the second arrow pierce our hearts. Tonight, if a pain or inconvenience wakes you up at 3 a.m., I invite you to perform a reconciliation ritual. Place a warm hand on the aching spot. Do not try to chase it away. Breathe very slowly and whisper, "I see you. Thank you for persistently accompanying me for all these years. Tonight, let us rest together." Engrave this soothing truth. Physical pain is actually an effort by the body to communicate with you. Respond to it with compassion instead of anger. When the nervous system feels love, it will loosen its defense, making way for the natural healing stream to flow. Lifestyle habits and the path of reflection. Do you ever wonder if what you do at 5 p.m. is exactly what is waking you up at 3 a.m.? Look at the story of Uncle Walter, a 74-year-old man who always pondered over sudden wakefulness in the middle of the night. Walter had a very normal habit. He often ate dinner very early, then sat relaxing on the armchair and accidentally dozed off in front of the TV screen from 7 p.m. Unconsciously, Uncle Walter sent his body a false signal. When he napped at dusk, his energy gas tank was partially filled, and the nervous system understood that a rest cycle was completed. So, when the clock struck 3 a.m., his body announced that, "That's enough. Now is the time to wake up." Walter's 3 a.m. was not a disease, but the harvest he had sown since sunset. To regain complete serenity for the long night, we need to learn how to cultivate daytime habits again. The wisdom of adaptation invites you to readjust the internal clock instead of dozing off in the dim darkness in front of the TV. Light up the living space in the late afternoon to signal to the brain that the day is not over yet. A gentle walk after dinner, a few mindful movements to unblock the energy flow will help your body reposition the falling point of deep sleep. Understand this truth. Good sleep is not something you can force when you have gotten into bed. It is the result of how you treated yourself throughout the previous 12 hours. Engrave this truth into your heart. Care for your habits like a farmer cares for the field. Sow seeds of mindfulness in the daytime to harvest peaceful sleep at night. Tonight, take a moment to smile at old habits and gently promise your heart an awakened change tomorrow. You do not need to try to sleep. You only need to learn how to live, so sleep naturally returns as the most natural reward of life. Emotional agitation and the wisdom of the heart. Have you ever lain awake and felt a cold draft from the empty spaces in the house, or a yearning nostalgia suddenly squeezing your chest? 3 a.m. is often the moment when the strong shell of the daytime dissipates, making way for regrets, unspoken words, or pain from separations to rush back. Look at the story of Mrs. Often the moment when the strong beers. Gloria, a 79-year-old woman who always appeared tough after her lifelong husband passed away. During the day, Gloria was busy with the garden and grandchildren. She thought she was fine. However, right at 3 a.m., she would wake up with a fast-beating heart and teary eyes. She feared this wakefulness because it forced her to face the emptiness beside her on the large bed. In Buddhist wisdom, this state is soothed by the virtue of equanimity, meaning the ability to sit still with emotions, without judging, without running away. Gloria learned that her waking up was actually an invitation to healing. She started a new ritual. Every evening before closing her eyes, she spent a few minutes pouring out her heart into a small diary, writing down all the things her heart was still pondering. And when waking up in the middle of the night, instead of panicking, she gently placed a hand on her heart, breathed and whispered, "I see you, my sadness. You are safe here with me." Dear friend, understand this compassionate truth. The heart does not wake up because of suffering. It wakes up because it needs to be listened to by you after a long, busy day. Tonight, if emotional agitations visit, please do not consider them barriers to sleep. Consider them an opportunity for you to date your own soul. When you give your heart complete attention and no judgment, the emotional knots will automatically be loosened. Let wakefulness become a sacred journey of self-discovery, where you learn to embrace yourself with hands of wisdom. When the heart feels heard and understood, it will automatically find its way back to the harbor of peace. Dear friend, engrave that the moment of wakefulness in the middle of the night is not a sentence of old age, but actually a radiant spiritual window. That is where the universe reserves a pure space just for you to reunite with your truest being after the noises of the world have temporarily subsided. Tonight, and also in the coming days, I invite you to bring the light of mindfulness into every smallest action, from how you appreciate the change of cells, soothe aching joints, to being tolerant of emotional ripples in your heart. Stop being a tired warrior, trying to protect what is old. Instead, choose to merge into the flow of change, instead of fighting it. If this video has helped your heart tighten less in the middle of the night, please leave a line sharing about your own journey and press the subscribe button. That is how we together light the lamps of awakening on this path. Wishing you a long night of peace, complete letting go, and waking up radiantly in the magnificent light of wisdom. Goodbye, and see you again.